Hi guys, Brot here. In this video we are going to talk about a game called Go and about the rules of that game. That game originated like 3,000 years ago in China, and it was a bit different back then. The rules were a bit different, but the basics are almost the same. So before we are going to start, I also like to inform you that I'm going to stream on Twitch on Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays from 8 to 10 p.m. GMT +1 in wintertime and GMT +2 in summertime. This is the German Standard Time. And on Sundays I'm also going to stream shogi. Shogi is the Japanese variation of chess, and in my opinion a lot more interesting than the Western one. Before we are going over the rules of the game, just a quick reminder that the rules are pretty simple and there are not so many, so you can learn them quite easily. And if you really want to play on a decent level, you are going to suffer a lot if you are not a genius and stupid like me, which I think most people are. So yeah, like I said, you're going to suffer a lot. You will be defeated a lot if you are playing against stronger players. Even if they're just a bit stronger than you, then normally you will get beaten up badly. Yeah. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to jump into the rules. Normally Go is played on this size of board, and we are going to start out with an empty board. So this is here, you can see we have got a couple of intersections here. These are 19 intersections times 19 intersections, so it's a 19 times 19 board. There are also boards that are smaller, 13 times 13 and 9 times 9, but these are just like the standard sizes. There are also boards that are bigger. Normally the games are played on a 19 times 19 board, and this is also the standard size for the professional games. So yeah, the board is empty and we have got two colors or two contrasts. We have got two players and the colors are black and white. Black's going to make the first move and place a stone. You can see here when I'm hovering my mouse over it that there's a black stone highlighted. It's going to place a black stone on an intersection, for example like this here, and then it's white turn, and white's going to play something like this maybe, and it's going back and forth. Also, if you if you're asking yourself what are the points here or the dots, it's actually just for cosmetics, just for orientation. It doesn't do anything for the game, so you don't really have to bother. It just indicates, okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 point. Same as here in the other corners as well. And the 4 point is pretty normal to start with in the beginning. But we are not going to talk about the tactics here, we're just going to go over the rules. Yeah, so like I said, black and white, placing stones on the intersections, alternating, and black starts. Now we are coming into the more precise rules. That are, stones have got liberties, and for each free intersection they're surrounding here. You can see white stone over here has got 4 surrounding free intersections, which means white has got 4 liberties. And why this is important with the liberties, we come back to that later. The next rule is stones of the same color placed nearby intersections form a group and share liberties. So this means if I'm placing a stone over here, then those two stones are connected and they're sharing liberties, which means now white has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 liberties for that group. Same is true for black here. Now white has got 8 liberties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And with that, white has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 liberties. Okay. Then the next rule is, once all liberties are occupied by the other color, the group counts as captured and is taken from the board. You can see we need a couple of stones with, or a couple of moves with black to surround that group. We are just going to surround, and these stones are just moves white is going to play elsewhere. And once the last stone is placed here of black, then these are actually just 9 liberties here for white. Then the whole white group is taken from the board, and later in the game they count as malus, as minus points when we are coming there. And that's almost basically it for the middle game. So during the game. Now we come to the end game, and the end game says, rather than placing a stone, a player may choose to pass the turn. So as a beginner, it's pretty hard to see when and why to pass your turn, because you always think that you can place stones everywhere and they're still having an effect, but it's not true. So it's the rule, it makes sense, but for beginners it doesn't really make sense. So just just take it as it is. Next one is, once both players pass after each other, the game ends and the points are counted. And this is also where we come to the goal of the game. The goal of the game is having more points surrounded than the opponent. And by points, it means you are having surrounded 3 intersections. For example, if we are taking black here, and black has got this territory surrounded, then we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 free intersections. So black has got 9 points in this example. If we are placing black stones in the middle, like this, black is surrounding those 2 free intersections. So those 2 free intersections at the end of the game, they count as 2 points. By the way, when it comes to liberties, like before, this here is at the end of the board. That doesn't count here. That one here doesn't count as a free liberty. So that black stone has 1, 2, 3 liberties. And that black stone over here has 1, 2 free liberties. Then we have got a couple of additional rules that it's kind of unfair for black to go first because black has got the initiative. So white gets a compensation of normally 6.5 points at the end of the game. It might vary from region to region, but normally it's 6.5 points. There are also examples for like 5.5 points or 7.5 points. This rule was just introduced like maybe less than 100 years ago or 100 years ago. Normally, back in the days, the professionals, they were playing a whole series of games, like 10 game series or stuff, or something like this. So this means that the advantage of having black in this series with 10 games is not that severe, because either you're going to alternate in colors, or if the opposing party has lost, then they get a handicap or stuff like that for the next game. And when it just came down that just one game matters, the people thought that it's unfair for the white player, so they were trying out the the system with the points added at the end of the game. Before it was like I don't know like how much it is that started out, but I know that there were times where they were just playing like with 3.5 and 4.5 points, but over the time they thought it's still unfair for white, and 6.5 is almost 50-50 for white. And then we have got the same board state is not allowed to occur twice. What does it mean? We were talking about that. Yeah, not that. So we were talking about that if all three intersections are taken, in this case from white, then what are we going to do? Like this, yeah. Then black's going to take the stone. So now black is placing a stone here, which also means there's another rule. It is after placing a stone, the opponent's liberties are counted first, then the liberties that was placed of the stone that was placed just now. So normally, if you think about it rationally, if I place the stone here, the black one, it doesn't have any free liberties left because it's surrounded by 4 white stones. And normally you're not allowed to play here in the Japanese rules. In the Chinese rules you're allowed to play there. There's a bit of difference also when it comes to counting to the Chinese and Japanese rules, but at the end of the game normally it's like 99 times 9% the same. There are cases, like really rare cases, where the counting of the rules or the counting rules really matter, but to be honest, for amateurs it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we are going to take the white stone as black, and now white is not allowed to take that stone here because it would revert to the board state back. Now in this, because we are in free play here in this mode, it's possible. So you see, if there's no rule like this, we can just go back and forth and nothing is going to happen. For that to prevent, there's this rule that we can't revert back to the board state that had happened before. So black is going to take, white has to find another place to play. For example, white is going to play here and is going to threaten black. Black is going to respond, not to lose some points here. White can take back. This is the principle behind that. Okay, that's it for the rules actually. Pretty simple, right? What I just want to talk about is about the counting and also the end of the game. So this is a game I played, and this is the end of the game right now. We almost got every points here. This is, if you can see that here, it's not a point. So normally, if you're not playing online, with a physical board, you're going to fill these places here, like that, because they don't count as a point. As you can see, we are just filling here, and these are not free intersections. And like here, you can see that black can't surround that free intersection, white can't surround that free intersection, so it's plus minus 0. They are not points. So I'm just going to fill those up here, just to make it easier for you. Now, this is the end of the game, and you're probably asking yourself, why is it the end of the game? Why is it determined that white has got those points over here? Why is it white's territory? Why is it black's territory? What about white playing here? Is there any effect of it? And the answer is no. So, like I said, that all the points or all the stones you captured from the opposing party, they will be treated as minus points at the end of the game. That means if you're playing with a physical board, you're taking all the opposing stones and place them here in the opposing or opponent's free intersections, which counts as a minus point. So since we know that white can't really play here, black doesn't have to spend a move here and reduce his own points. If white is going to play here, black can just choose to respond, and black will get this point. It's plus 1 point, and then this point counts as a minus 1 point, so it's plus minus 0. So it just cancel out each other. So in the age of computers, it's pretty easy to calculate. We have got an estimate score tool here. You can see white is leading with 11.5 points. So on board, white is leading with 5 points plus the 6.5 points at the end of the game. And black stone's here, that black stone is dead, and that black stone is dead, which means these two black stones will placed on the board and will cover free intersections, so will cover points. Also in this game, white captured 6 black stones and black captured 2 white stones outside of the game, so white has got minus 2 points over here and black is losing 6 points over here somewhere. Okay, so this is the end of the game. This is how a board might look like, and this is just for visualization for you, just to have a look how it might look like. Okay, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like to drop by at our Twitch, and it's always fun to have more people there. And this is going to be a series. So in the next videos, we are going to talk about essential knowledge for Go, like what is more important, like where do I have to play, what about the shape. As you can see here, this is called shape. Why is it right shape? What is bad shape? And everything a beginner wants to know, because to be honest, Go is pretty open, and by that it's pretty hard to grasp compared to stuff like chess. In chess you have got your pieces and you know what the pieces are doing, and it's a bit easier to come up with moves because you have got like just 20 or 30 possibilities, and you pretty much know in the beginning that there are bad possibilities to play, so bad moves to play, so you can just narrow down to like 5 or 10 moves. In Go, it's a bit more complicated. And with that video series, I hope I can help you with that. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video. Take care, bye!